and Thailand would burn if we didn't do anything about it, because there was commercial sex, and this could spread very, very rapidly.
Michai voiced his alarm to members of government, to no avail.
A promo shows Buddhist monks, temples, and elephants.
Thailand's tourist industry was flourishing, and no one wanted to rock that boat.
A title, Visit Thailand.
Thailand was in denial in the early days, from 1980 to 1990. Governments are always followers rather than leaders, and until they see a catastrophe, they don't think it's going to happen.
But in 1991, a new prime minister took office and took HIV seriously. He made Michai his AIDS czar. The battle was on.
Neon lights spell hot girls.
The sex trade was illegal, but to shut it down would have forced it underground. So Michai dispatched free condoms to the trade and ordered routine testing of workers for sexually transmitted diseases.
And if a girl of a particular establishment became infected, then there was a warning to the establishment owner. Second time was a written warning. Third time was closure for 1 week, and then 1 month.
Soon, the rate of condom use in brothels rose from 10 to 90%. Then, Michai hit the airwaves.
In a public service announcement, dozens of photos turn red one by one. Subtitles appear. It's a dangerous epidemic that's spreading fast. If we don't stop HIV now, in 10 years, there may be no Thai people left.
We used 488 radio stations and 6 TV stations owned by government, and we said it's compulsory from now on. Every hour broadcast, half a minute of AIDS education.
In a montage, Michai appears on various talk shows.
It was total saturation. Banks, insurance companies, movie stars, they all came out, helped to support. Gas stations gave out condoms, and policemen gave out condoms, and people in uniform, out of uniform, gave out AIDS information. So everybody joined in. It was a massive effort, and people realized that this is real.
Toll booth workers give condoms to drivers.
A decade after Michai became Thailand's AIDS czar, the nation's rate of new infections had decreased by almost 90%.
It was brilliant, and it worked. And they took an epidemic that threatened to be massive and brought it down to totally controlled levels.
Beneath the traffic overpass, women lay flowers on a Buddhist shrine.
But HIV has not been eradicated from Thailand.
A woman prays.
More than 500,000 people remain infected. Now Michai has turned his attention to them.
Michai stands at a microphone in front of an audience. Subtitles appear. Today I want you to meet a few of my friends. We'll have a little chat about people with HIV. Let's welcome Nisara and friends. Several young women join Michai on stage.
Stigma is very, very strong in every developing country at the start, and it really depends on how much public education is done.
He and the women all drink from the same glass. Subtitles continue. See, even with her holding onto my pants, there's no way I can catch it. Take a little sip. Don't drink it all.
We believe we should introduce HIV-positive people to communities to see that they're just like us.
More subtitles. Now I'll drink from the same spot. See, I am not infected. Remember that.
Today, Nisara Panya will dispel some myths about HIV for 500 high school students.
My name is Nisara. I've been infected since 1999, but you can't tell I'm positive just by looking at me.
Now Nisara strolls through a village.
She hails from the Northeast, the poorest region in Thailand. Her husband, like so many others, left home to find work. But he returned from a stint in Malaysia, weakened and ill. Within months, he died of AIDS. Nisara went for testing with her 2 children and discovered that she alone was infected.
When I first found out, I wanted to kill myself. I was afraid my village wouldn't accept me.
A woman on a bench greets Nisara with a smile as she passes.
I thought about it long and hard. But when I looked at my 2 children, I knew I had to fight for my life.
In a hospital, a technician draws blood from Nisara's arm.
Because of the stigma attached to HIV, many infected Thais forego medical attention rather than reveal their status. Not Nisara. She went for treatment and began a regimen of antiretroviral drugs provided free of charge by the Thai government.
Nisara shoos cattle aside as she walks with friends.
Then she learned that Michai's nonprofit organization has started a loan program for people like her.
I saw people who were HIV positive had already lost their jobs, had used up all their savings, and there was a total sense of hopelessness. Now, surely we must be able to do something. And that was when I thought, maybe we should have a positive partnership whereby a positive person and a negative person become partners and do business together.
For Nisara and her sister, a small loan jump-started a photo framing venture.
Nisara cuts framing material.
At first, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to repay the loan. But business has been good. It's like getting a second chance at life.
In a meeting room, Nisara stands and addresses a group.
Nisara began to speak out about the plight of people with HIV. Now she helps Michai turn fear into acceptance.
She was waiting there to die, her husband had died. She was giving up, but then she didn't give up. She's changed herself, and she's helping to influence other people.
Nisara visits workers in a factory.
She is magnificent.
Now a boy and a girl run across a yard to Nisara, who sits on steps. The boy kisses her cheek.
The day I found out I was infected, I told my children. They said, "It's okay, Mom. No matter what, we still love you." I want everyone who's infected, wherever you are, to be strong and fight this disease, just like me.
Nisara's resolve may be what Thailand needs most.
A half-dozen slim girls dance on stage.
In recent years, government funding for HIV education has dwindled. Infections are rising among young people, many of whom never heard of a man called Michai. And so, he keeps up the good fight.
Michai walks on stage and steps up to a microphone.
Thailand has spent a lot of effort and a lot of money to bring down the spread of HIV.
People blow up condom balloons.
This is not just a health problem, it's a societal problem. Everyone needs to be involved, the business sector, religious sector, education sector, government. It's total war, the only way to do it. We can make the next generation almost AIDS-free.
He distributes condoms.
Thailand provides a powerful prescription for the delivery of public health. Strong leadership, combined with long-term political commitment, has worked wonders here.
Now migrating families carry bundles on their heads as they walk along an unpaved road.
Sadly, millions live bereft of leadership, beyond the protection of government or law. By United Nations estimates, some 30 million people have been driven from their homes by war, persecution, man-made and natural disasters.
Floodwater traps 3 boys on a roof.
They live in makeshift, crowded conditions, lacking food, water, and sanitation. In terms of health, they're the most vulnerable people on Earth.
In computer animation, sections of the globe light up.
In Sudan, the Darfur region has been in crisis since 2003, when rebel groups challenged the government.
In archival footage, heavily armed men ride crammed into jeeps.
In response, pro-government militias, known as the Janjaweed, have terrorized civilians, razing entire villages